ideal world, and Anthony Joshua tried to make his way into the ring following this fight?
I'm not worried about that coward. The coward can barely got his titles back, let alone talking about stepping in the ring with the king. So he's been out of the picture. Ain't nobody talking about him no more, so it ain't no need to bring him up right here, right now. February 22nd, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Other than that, nobody else is in existence at this point in time.
Wow. Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. Earlier today, Deontay Wilder recently had a press conference or a conference call to promote his highly anticipated rematch with Tyson Fury, as we know, February 22nd. Now, this was a segment of the conference call, and he talked about a few things. He was being asked questions from different writers across the globe. And when that one person mentioned Anthony Joshua possibly getting into the ring, Deontay Wilder was like, you know what? We're not going to talk about that coward. We're not talking about that coward. Nobody talks about him no more. He barely won his belts back. For those who really didn't hear that, because I know this was kind of low due to, I guess, the connection of the conference call or whatnot. The sound probably didn't project, but that's exactly what Deontay Wilder said. He said that nobody's barely talking about him no more. The coward barely got his belts back. This is all about Tyson Fury and himself. Now, and he's not even in the picture no more. We forgot about him, right? He also said that, for the record, if you guys didn't hear. Now, the problem with this is, I want to let you guys in on something. It's one thing to dismiss a guy. That's fine, because that's exactly what Deontay Wilder's supposed to do. But it's another thing to be like, oh, that coward, he barely got his belts back. He's not even in the picture no more. Nobody talk about him. Well, you're talking about him. And obviously he is in the picture because other people are wanting him to fight you. So the problem is, here's the problem with this. Deontay Wilder had all this one champion, one face, one name. If you notice that, he hasn't said that in a while. All he's been talking about is the Fury fight, which makes sense. Okay, because that is his next opponent. And if Tyson Fury does have some secret ingredient, Deontay Wilder ass-kicking mixture drink that he just took to beat Deontay Wilder. Now, I'm not talking about PEDs, people. That he needs to be more concerned with. But he calls him a coward. And I wonder, it could either be smart, maybe, because like he did say in this interview, also, he'll still be here after that fight's over. Okay. And he's the champ, or one of the champions, but he is the champ in this fight, the one that's holding the belt, by the way. So, but if you see the energy just kind of, it changed. The energy just changed. It totally went to the left when it came to fighting Joshua. You know what I mean? See, this is what I project. If I know Al Heyman and what he normally does, there's going to be a fight right after this. So Deontay Wilder is going to fight Tyson Fury February 22nd. Then immediately after that, it's going to be the rubber match. Okay, and I'm not really concerned with a Joshua Wilder fight because Joshua has his hands full anyway. And I heard Deontay say, well, Joshua don't ever talk about fighting nobody until he has a fight. Well, we can say that about you too, because when you didn't have a fight, and when you had the only thing he had was a mandatory, and he hadn't picked his last two opponents yet, which was Ortiz and Tyson Fury. He was free, as far as we knew. He was free to fight anybody. The moment Joshua came over here and was like, well, let's sit down and talk between me and him, man to man, and see if we can get this fight done. He, the same fucking day, oh, I got my 2 fights already. Both 2 fights back to back. Now, make that make sense. You got 2 fights in advance. Right? That sounds kind of like how Joshua in 2018 booked those 2 dates in advance. I'm going to book it for September of 18 and April of 2019 at Wembley Stadium. 2 bookings back to back. All of a sudden, Wilder, oh, I got both of my opponents, but hadn't signed a contract. Tyson Fury he even confirmed it. I haven't signed anything to fight anybody else, and if somebody signed for me, it is fraud, people. Okay? Forgery. That's what it's called. Because Tyson Fury speaks for himself, and he didn't even sign that. So that tells you that he was forced to say, hey, my fights are already, my schedule's already full, just so I wouldn't have to sit down and look this man in the face. Then this is the last thing I'll say about this. Deontay Wilder, you hear him say coward a lot. I don't know where that comes from. Because as far as I know, he was the last one to turn down any type of offer. And since the $50 million offer, we haven't heard any offers from Team Wilder to fight Joshua when Joshua had the belts. Now, when Andy Ruiz had the belts, they were damn near, this fight they're talking about now was about to be scrapped. They were trying to give Tyson Fury step-aside money. And Tyson Fury was like, no. He ballsed up, didn't he? No, you bastards are not going to grind out on this fight. You wanted this fight. You got this fight. He was like, no, you're going to fight me. You pissed and moaned to fight me all year, and you signed a contract. I finally signed a contract that certified that this fight is on, this fight is happening. And you're not going to give me any kind of step-aside money. Or I'm going to sue you. That was his exact words. But Al Heyman, knowing Al Heyman, if Ruiz would have beat Joshua, this shit wouldn't have even been on. It wouldn't even been into play. This would have been put on hold, and probably maybe March or April, that fight would have been promoted. That's weird shit, isn't it? That's really, really weird. Now, oh, nobody worry about coward. So don't know about where the coward comes from, But I will say this: I'm interested, curious to see how the energy will shape and form when he sees Joshua face to face. I want all this shit: the coward, scared, ducking, no heart of a champion. I want all of this shit to come out. You know what I mean? And I would really grow a huge amount of respect for Deontay Wilder once that day happens, if that day ever happens. If these guys happen to be at the same place in the same time once again. Because remember the Mayweather-Pacquiao deal. Mayweather had never met Pacquiao in his life. They have never been at the same place at the same time, except that basketball game, that historic event. They were both I don't know what game or who was playing, but they were both at that basketball game at the same time. And guess what? That fucking fight got made in 2014, didn't it? Or it probably was late 2013. No, I mean late 2014. But that fight got made. So maybe it might be a situation where the fight may get made if Joshua sees or runs into Deontay Wilder again. But the way Deontay's talking, it was like he was mad that someone brought that up, but he started stuttering, and I was kind of like, why is he stuttering like that? If you notice, he's a coward. I would. I'm like, okay, what was that about? Anyway, again, he calls Anthony Joshua a coward. I would just love to see that in his face because, Joshua doesn't really respond to stuff like that. I wish he would. I really wish he would. But we will see. Maybe if Deontay Wilder keeps talking more and more, he may respond. Okay? Now, he's responded in his own ways, but it's never nothing direct. It's always something that he just says, but it may be in response to something Deontay Wilder says, to be real. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Deontay Wilder and his dismissal of Anthony Joshua, calling him a coward. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.